Hey everybody, Dwayne Johnson here. I am inviting you to check out the Black Adam experience on Roblox, where you can test your Black Adam knowledge, become Black Adam, and unlock some really cool items for your avatars. I'll see you on Roblox.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Alright, guys, so I'm finally doing it. I'm finally talking about Black Adam. This was a DC superhero movie that was basically created and led by the walking advertisement named The Rock. And this movie, Black Adam, was the first step of his plan of inserting himself into the DC superhero universe and starting a whole new branch of movies based off of this one. And in pretty much all of the advertising that he made for this movie on his social media accounts, it really feels like he's trying to forcefully insert himself into this world, and it just comes off as kind of cringe.
I want you guys to help me out with something. It's something that's pretty important. I need you guys to help me get a message out to some of the other ones. Some of the other DC superheroes. Let's let Flash, Shazam, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Let's let them know something. Things will never be the same. Because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Now what you're going to see here is why the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
I don't know, that's just so funny to me. Like, you know your movie is bad when you have to get Krabby the Clown to come out and say, "Hey kids, it's me, The Rock. You guys know Batman and Superman, right? Well, there's an all-new superhero in town named Black Adam. Now go ask your parents if you can see the movie. The hierarchy of power is about to change." Like, what the fuck? He was trying to get children to see this movie so bad, he literally made a Roblox game and advertised it like crazy so that they would play the Roblox game, be interested in Black Adam, and then ask their parents to go see the movie. That ad that I showed in the beginning of the video about the Roblox game, that's not a meme, that's real. Just to go on a little side tangent for a second, the hierarchy of power is about to change thing isn't the only super cringy ad campaign that The Rock has done. Like how he did an ad campaign with In-N-Out Burger where he went to go try their food for the first time and then posted a video about it, but he did it like multiple times. Way back in 2017, he posted this picture that said, "I've never been to In-N-Out Burger before. I know, what an asshole. When my lovely ladies wanted a late night grub, I happily obliged and pulled in the drive-thru." Pretty obvious In-N-Out Burger ad, but I mean, it's alright, bro, get your bag. But the year after that, he posted this video on Instagram.
This is the very first time that I have ever tried an In-N-Out Burger.
What are you talking about? No, it's not. You ate In-N-Out Burger last year. But it's like, okay, you know, maybe it's just a dumb mistake and he forgot that he ate it before. But then he did it again! The year after that, he posted a video on Instagram of him driving up to the drive-thru of an In-N-Out Burger and ordering an In-N-Out Burger for the first time. What's a spread? That's not just self-explanatory to you?
5710. I don't pay you. Alright, cool.
What do you mean? You fucking eat here! You've been here multiple fucking times! Why is he acting stupid? Wait, go up to the next window. Wait, I thought I was supposed to pay you. I have to go over. Oh, I get it. Thank you. Nigga, what? And to make it even worse, he did it a fourth fucking time! The year after that, he posted another video about going to the In-N-Out Burger drive-thru for the first time.
They wanted to say hello. Here you go, guys. All that. Hey.
Nigga, what the fuck? Every year he eats In-N-Out Burger for the first time? I've never seen anything like this before.
Gentlemen, what a pleasure this is. My very first In-N-Out Burger.
I think this might be the cringiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Why does he do this? Why does he act like this? You didn't tip the last 9 fucking times you came here. You never gave a tip to the other 30 In-N-Out employees that you've spoken to in total so far. Like, what do you mean am I supposed to tip? You've been here like 10 fucking times. And then there's his super cringy motivational videos where he'll say a quote that everyone has already heard before a million times and then act like he came up with it.
The quote goes like this: one day or day one. One day or day one.
Like, bro, Rock will really be like, my grandfather, he had this saying that he passed down to me and I wanted to share it with you. It was something that really resonated with me, and he used to tell me this saying all the time and it stuck with me. It goes like this: practice makes perfect. I also just love how all the comments on this video are just completely suplexing The Rock. The quote goes like this: it's all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits. The quote goes like this: life is a cock. There's ups and downs, but it never stays hard forever. The quote goes like this: better to shit in the sink than to sink in the shit. When I was looking at some of The Rock's motivational videos, I found some of his workout videos too. He posted this one video on Instagram of him doing an incline bench press. And not to make fun of The Rock's workout routine, because he's way more jacked than I'll ever be or really ever want to be. But just look at the range of motion here. He just kind of does half reps, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'm just stupid, but I've never seen anybody do that before. He seems to do this in a lot of videos of him working out. He doesn't really do a complete rep, even with these lunges too. Like, am I just losing my mind? I'm positive that there's something that I'm just not getting here. I'm debating whether I should leave this part in the video or not, because I don't really know that much about weightlifting. But what was I even talking about? Oh, Black Adam. Right. So who even is Black Adam? Black Adam isn't really the most popular superhero character ever, but he's one of the villains of another superhero named Shazam. And he's kind of the anti-Shazam, just how Venom is the anti-Spider-Man. Now, Shazam isn't in this movie at all because The Rock insisted that he didn't want him to be, because he was afraid that if Shazam was in this movie, then it would overshadow him and people would end up liking Shazam more than Black Adam, and that didn't really fit with his plan of making Black Adam the center of a new superhero universe. So with that in mind, let's check out the movie. The movie opens with one of those terrible exposition dumps that are at the beginning of so many movies nowadays, where the movie feels like it has to tell you about everything you need to know before the movie can just play.
Before Babylon.
Oh, this is already bad content. What is this? Before Rome, before Babylon. Shut the fuck up. Why do so many movies need to start with like the narrative? Just show us. Stop.
Yeah, they just start with exposition.
After Star Wars, every other movie should have stopped doing that. After Star Wars with the text, every other movie should have stopped exposition dumping. Just show us.
I agree. I agree.
Before niggas wore do-rags and basketball shorts under their sweatpants for the winter time. Nigga, we don't want to hear none of
Before
that
black
shit.
people were responsible for most of the violent crimes in the United States. Yeah. It's like you just know this movie's gonna fucking be bad when it starts with like a. You just
The shitty font, the stupid font. It has to tell, like, first off, not only did she tell us where the story is gonna show us, but then they also had to put it on screen in case you didn't hear what she fucking said. Like, if you go back to be like, before Babylon, before Nigalon, in Kandak, and then it puts Kandak. If you didn't hear what she said, Kandak. That's what
I mean, you gotta know how to spell it. It's spelled so like quirky and different. It's spelled so quirky and unique.
It's so ethnically in Middle Eastern.
So ethnically.
Seasoning from the spelling, like I can taste how Moroccan Middle Eastern this is supposed to sound. I get it.
I mean, the movie has The Rock though.
True. You're right.
Yes. So it can't be bad. It means it's good. You know, call me old school, but I miss when you could just take a movie and just press play, and then the movie just starts. Like, what happened to that? Bring back movies starting when I press play. Like, have the movie just start, and me just wonder what's going on, and then have me slowly be clued in. I hate fucking exposition. I just hate it.
6 demons of the ancient world.
I hate
It
exposition.
would make Acton invincible.
So to sum it all up, there's a country in the Middle East called Kandak, and in ancient times they were enslaved by this king that had them mining for this mineral called Eternium, that he could use it to make this crown that once he had it would give him superpowers and make him invincible. So there's all of these slaves competing with each other to try to dig through this rock to find Eternium, and this one old guy finds it. So he holds it up into the air and says, "Eternium!" and then hides it while he tries to bring it up to one of the guards. And it's like, dude, if you didn't want anybody else to know you had Eternium because they would have killed you and took it because they wanted to be the one to discover it? And why hold it up into the air so that the audience can see what Eternium looks like?
Eternium.
Maybe if he wanted nobody to know about it, he shouldn't have held it up straight into the fucking air. Like
He said the name of
he
it
said
too, in Zelda.
Eternium and held it up into the air like Zelda, and then he acts like he doesn't want anybody else to notice.
When you're in like a Minecraft server with your friends, and then you're like, I found diamonds, and everybody comes and fucking you and steals your fucking
Well, the old man takes the Eternium rock and brings it up to the top of this hill and hands it to one of the guards, and then tells him that he doesn't need to work anymore because, as he was promised, if he were to find Eternium, then he would be free. So then the guard is like, yeah, exactly, you can be free now, and then just like obviously it kills him. Get it? Because he's like, he doesn't have to work anymore now, he's free. Haha, get it?
Yeah, they're gonna kill him. Oh, this is so predictable.
Yeah,
I knew it.
yeah,
I
they're
knew
just
it.
gonna kill him.
I know it.
Kill him so he doesn't have to work anymore. Like,
For no reason.
they just lost like a valuable like asset.
And it's supposed to demonstrate how evil the enemy is. Because look,
Wow.
this guy is such a good person. He gave him the most valuable thing he's ever found, and he killed him for it. Whoa.
Wow, they're so
You know
evil.
what that means? That means he's a bad motherfucker, man. He's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy. Dude, and it's like, dude, wouldn't you want to keep this guy? He obviously he's shown that he has the ability to find Eternium. Wouldn't you, isn't he like valuable to
Who would
you?
be the one that you would want to have?
The one guy who found it, wouldn't you want to keep him? Steals the Eternium from the guard and runs away up to the top of this mountain and holds it up for all of the other guys to see. Then he gets captured by the guards and he's about to get executed as punishment before he's given the Shazam powers and breaks free and fights back. And he goes up to the king's castle and kills him and takes the crown and then disappears and is never heard from again. Then we fast forward to the present day where it's revealed that this kid was telling the story the whole time and that there's a terrorist group called Intergang that's taken over Kandak to mine it for Eternium and search for the crown. Jesus Christ, what a mouthful. Oh my god. The kid rides his skateboard to an Intergang checkpoint where this van is sitting. And inside of the van are 3 people. This one fat guy that's supposed to be the comedic relief character of the movie. This one mysterious looking dude named Ishmael with curly hair. And this woman that's hiding in the backseat of the van because she's a fugitive and the Intergang is looking for her. Now, this kid is that woman's son. And his mom and these other 2 guys snuck back into Kandak in order to go out into the desert and search for the crown in this abandoned ruin. Now, this comic relief guy gets on my nerves so bad. I'm sorry. I don't even know his name. He will just always be comic relief guy to me. But he says probably 700 jokes throughout the whole movie, and I don't think one of them land. Not a single time.
True. Probably left to his van and his bald spot.
Well, some women like a bald spot. Curly on the outside, smooth on the inside.
Hilarious.
Funny.
I'm gonna kill myself. Haha. Haha. Funny. What a funny movie. Are you dying laughing, Blow?
Yeah, I'm laughing so hard. It's imperceivable how hard I'm laughing. That's how hard.
Yeah, I'm laughing so hard. It broke this sound barrier. You can't even hear it.
Ha ha ha, because he's fat. Get it? Ah.
So the 3 of them go into this ancient ruin that for some reason Intergang has never found, even though they have all of this mining equipment set up all over the place and have been occupying this country for what seems like decades and decades. They haven't found this super obvious ancient ruin that's in the side of this mountain. I guess they're just mining for fun. I guess if they just like mining and they don't want to be done with mining so soon. Now the comic relief guy waits in the car and 3 guys go in. Ishmael, the mom, and then there's this 3rd guy that I didn't even mention because he doesn't really have any lines and he dies. And he dies pretty much instantly. When the 3 of them get deeper into the ruins, this 3rd guy goes missing, so the mom asks Ishmael where he went, and then Ishmael is like, oh, he got a little claustrophobic and he just decided to wait outside.
Where is Samir?
Claustrophobic. Needed some air.
You know that guy that traveled across the entire country with us and then like went through an illegal checkpoint and broke the law multiple times and would get prison time if he was caught, went through this whole desert for hours and helped us do research for months and months to be able to find this cave? Yeah, he's claustrophobic. Yeah, he doesn't really like caves. He's the worst fucking...
Samir, the guy that went into the cave with us? Yeah, he's claustrophobic. Okay.
Okay, checks out.
Yeah, checks out.
The guy who traveled across the country to be in this expedition of a cave. Yeah, he's claustrophobic. He left. So they keep walking through the cave until they get to this big room where the crown is floating up in the air. So Mom climbs up onto these rocks, and then it's supposed to be this super suspenseful moment where she jumps across the rocks to grab the crown, but then it cuts to another shot where she literally has to jump like 2 feet. It's like a 2 or 3 feet gap, and the movie makes such a big deal out of it. After she gets the crown, Ishmael suspiciously demands that she give it to him, and when she refuses, all of these military intergang guys rush into the room and then start spraying at her, not worrying about damaging the crown at all. They bring out comic relief guy to use as ransom, saying that they're gonna shoot him if she doesn't give up the crown, so she gives him the crown, but then says some ancient mantra that summons Black Adam, and the intergang guys are super confused about what's going on. And the movie gives us one of the only 2 jokes that actually land, and I thought was actually pretty funny.
Check him out. Boss say you go.
Chief say your turn.
Isn't that pretty good? He has to go because he's the last guy. There's nobody to his right. So he gets closer to Black Adam to investigate when he jumps up, grabs him by the neck, and starts electrocuting him. And his friends don't even shoot at Black Adam or try to save him or anything. I guess they just don't like him.
They're just watching him do this.
Yeah. They're just watching him.
They're not gonna shoot him, or is it? They just like don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. Then after their friend has been electrocuted down to his skeleton, they start shooting at him. But unfortunately for them, Black Adam seems to be completely resistant to gunfire. And we get what's actually a pretty cool shot. It only lasts a second or 2, but it's just Black Adam being in his hood while all the bullets are hitting him and sparking off of him. And it looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna notice this theme of this being just a horrible movie, but maybe every 10 or 20 minutes there'll be one cool thing that lasts a couple seconds. So they keep wasting all of their bullets, just relentlessly spraying this guy when it's clear that the bullets have absolutely no effect on him at all.
They haven't realized.
They haven't realized that the bullets don't work.
I bet you they're gonna keep shooting after they.
I bet you this next clip will do it.
Like,
30 wasn't enough.
Yeah, we just had to break his hyper armor. Now fire!
like yeah. What the fuck?
We're wearing them down. We're exhausting them.
Yeah, we're exhausting. Stick with it. So Black Adam floats up into the air triumphantly before one by one killing each of the intergang members. And it's just a CGI mess that has The Rock just zipping around everywhere and punching everybody. It's just fucking stupid.
This is fucking terrible. Oh my god. This is fucking awful.
And then he picks up a man and rips his arm off, but there's not a single drop of blood. Not coming from the arm or from his body or anything. It's just a perfectly clean cut, I guess.
No blood? Nothing dripping, not a drop? What the fuck? He's like, dude, he's like on creative mode. Why is he flying around like so like abruptly? Like he just goes like he's in like creative mode in Minecraft. Like you just like double tap the key.
So Black Adam flies out of the top of the mountain and we get another pretty cool looking shot. It only lasts for like literally 1 second, but it does look cool. There's all of this intergang military waiting for him outside. So everything goes into slow motion to show how fast he is while he effortlessly takes out all of them without even getting hit a single time or struggling with anything. It's just like, for just in case you didn't think Black Adam was strong, I guess there's no real point besides look how strong Black Adam is. It just looks like it's photoshopped. Like you can almost see the layers where all of the different effects were added on here. And to make it even worse, Black Adam is played by The Rock, man who can only make 3 different facial expressions. So you'll see him cycle between 2 of them in this scene, the one where he like raises his eyebrow and then the one where he lowers his eyebrows really low. Amazing. Give him an Oscar right now. So after The Rock effortlessly takes out all of his soldiers without even trying, without any stakes or any chance of him even failing or any suspense or anything, Mom and the comic relief guy are driving in their van through all of the destruction for some reason, because I guess they just wanted to get a closer look. They could have drove in any direction to get away, but they decided to just drive straight towards the fucking destruction. So Black Adam gets suspicious of them and flies up to the van and walks past and just like mogs them, I guess.
It's just funny. I can't not laugh. It's just like the fact that he's there.
What the fuck?
What kind of look is this? Bro, he looks like he's gonna me. I just don't... What the fuck?
So it turns out that there's one more soldier left that Black Adam didn't kill, and he shoots an Eternium-fueled rocket at Black Adam. He catches the rocket and reads that it says Eternium before it blows up in his face. It turns out that Eternium is kind of like kryptonite for Black Adam. It's like the only material that can actually kind of hurt him. And it leaves this really large blue gash on his side.
They wrote down the material.
They wrote it on the fucking missile so that he can read it.
In case you don't remember. This is an Eternium rocket, just in case. In case you forget, by the way.
Yeah.
Just like how with all bullets, they write down brass.
Yeah.
This is made out of brass.
With all bullets, they write down.
Yeah.
Just like with every knife, they write metal on it.
Yeah, metal.
Also, when the rocket blows up, it destroys his cape, making his costume look considerably worse, and this is how he looks for the rest of the movie.
Oh, it looks even worse!
Yeah.
Please go.
So after Black Adam electrocutes the guy, he tries to fly away, but seems to have been weakened by the Eternium rocket, and he crashes to the ground and gets knocked out, and just lays there all handsomely. Like, I think this is the nicest someone has ever looked while having been knocked the fuck out. And even though he was flying away with his chest facing the ground, when he falls down, he still lands on his back, because if he was just laying face down on the ground, then he wouldn't look as heroic and manly. So he has to like flip around mid-air to land on his back, so we could just lay there all handsomely for the camera. Then we get the reveal that Ishmael is actually evil and is a part of the Intergang, and he's the guy that gave the Intergang the location of the ruin so that they can come and then take the crown. Then we cut to this black guy, and he's a Hawkman. So he gets a call from Amanda Waller from Suicide Squad, and she tells him that the Rock has like gotten loose and he's like a threat to like the world or something, and that he was supposed to be done by now getting a group of people together called the Justice Society in case something like this happened. We get this whole scene where Hawkman introduces the different members of the Justice Society, making this the second shitty movie that Amanda Waller was in where a bunch of superheroes were introduced for like 10 minutes straight. Isn't that amazing? So the first member of the Justice Society that Hawkman introduces is named Cyclone, and it's this girl that has the power to make tornadoes or something. And she shows up to Hawkman's mansion and has to sign into this little keypad thing. And it recognizes her under the name Red Tornado, showing that this is the Red Tornado of this universe. Why couldn't we just get the actual Red Tornado instead of this annoying little girl? I just don't fucking get it. We couldn't get this super interesting cyborg guy that makes tornadoes and has wind powers and stuff. Instead, we just get this stupid girl with these fucking socks and this stupid bike. Does DC just try not to make their movies good on purpose? Second member that Hawkman introduces is named Atom Smasher, which is this guy. He's basically like Ant-Man. He just grows super big or super tiny. And Hawkman says that this isn't the original Atom Smasher. The original one was his uncle, and he says that this Atom Smasher inherited his powers from him.
Because that's his father's brother.
Yeah, that's not his son, so how
the fuck does he have it? How would he gain traits from his uncle? That's like on a different like branch of the family tree. That's not his branch, if that makes any sense. He wouldn't inherit anything from him.
That kid is not his uncle's offspring, so why would he inherit something from his uncle?
That's like somebody looking at me and they're like, "Yo, you have your uncle's eyes." What?
It's like, what?
I can't. It doesn't work that way.
Like, did his mom cheat on his dad with his brother? Like, I don't fucking get it. The next character we get introduced to is named Dr. Fate, and he's basically the Doctor Strange of DC, except that I think he's a little bit cooler, and he's probably the coolest character in this whole movie. Like, just look at him. He looks so sick. This suit looks absolutely amazing. It's not really too often nowadays when I look at a superhero movie and see a suit and I'm just amazed and blown away by it. They absolutely killed this. This looks incredible. Unfortunately, because the writing for this movie sucks, Dr. Fate gets one of the worst subplots I think I've ever seen in my life, but just as far as what he looks like and how he acts, he's perfect. So the trio meet up at Hawkman's house to kind of just get a briefing and get told about the mission that they're about to go on to defeat Black Adam. And Hawkman has this ridiculously giant mansion. He's literally a trillionaire or something. So they go into his house, and then underneath it into this gigantic bunker that has this huge aircraft in it and all kinds of other stuff, and it's just so ridiculous, and it's like, who fucking built this?
How does a nigga this D-list of a superhero have this much bread?
Yeah, look at this hole. This is like bigger than the Batcave.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, Wayne Tech is like $1 billion company.
This is like bigger than Bruce Wayne's mansion. Batman. Right. Batman. Hawkman. Like, it just doesn't add up. This is Batman himself. He's like a multi-billionaire. He has like probably $100 billion, right? This is what he's working with. He's working with this. Right? You've seen the movie, right? This is the Batcave. This is Hawkman. Bro, this nigga is balling, bro. What the fuck is this? Nigga, what the fuck?
That looked terrible.
Nigga, what? He's like $50 trillion. Made an entire like fucking garden on like movie park. Like, what the fuck? I feel bad for like the landscaper that's like cleaning up one of the bushes. Right? He's like
black hole.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, I forgot to clean that one shrub. Let me go back. And then this happens. Like, well, whoa! Like,
I just can't understand. Like, it defies physics. Like, how does something that big move so fast? Like,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
All right, I'll even buy that the floor opens up somehow. But it's like, it moves so fast. It's moving faster than the plane that has jet propulsion.
Like, what is powering it to move it?
The floor opens like there's like propulsion systems in it. Look at this. Look at this statue. First off, look at this.
It moves so fast.
And then look at the jet. It's like just flying up at normal speed.
So these pieces it's different pieces. These fall. These slide under these, right? And then these pull back under the house. Okay, I guess there's no basement to the house, right? And then this shit pulls back, and then the jet comes out. What the fuck?
So meanwhile, The Rock has been taken in by the mom and comic relief guy all the way back to their house, and he's laying on their son's bed. It's probably not a good idea to leave somebody that's this strong and that you know literally nothing about unsupervised in your child's bedroom, but I mean, you do you, I guess.
Pause it when it goes to The Rock's face.
Okay.
I just had to place it funny.
He's like,
He looks like a thumb. Like a thumb.
yeah. He looks like that. He looks like that.
The thumbs from Spike Kid. The thumbs, dude. He looks like the
Yeah,
thumbs.
the guys in the red. Yeah, these guys.
That's the picture reminds me of.
Dude, you know what it reminds me of? Nose Pass.
Oh my God, no.
Nose Pass.
So The Rock is sleeping, and he wakes up as the kid enters the room.
So the other super.
What the fuck is that?
I was about to talk about something else. Is this where he like staples the skin like to the back of his neck so he has no wrinkles? Is that what this is? It's all like crazy glued together.
So The Rock wakes up out of bed, and then instinctively the first thing he does is zap Superman's face on a poster with lightning. Because like he's so edgy, and he's not a hero, he's like an anti-hero. Because of this, The Rock looks around the kid's room and sees all kind of superhero merch and memorabilia and stuff, and realizes that the kid is really into superheroes and stuff. So the kid walks in, and he's amazed that he's getting to see a real superhero in real life. And then The Rock responds with some super cold one-liner that I guess they intended for you to make like Instagram Reels Sigma edits out of.
Isn't free. We could really use a superhero right about now.
I'm no hero.
What?
But seeing all of these superhero posters all over this room kind of breaks the movie a little bit, because you realize that if all of these other superheroes exist, then why haven't any of them come to save Kandak? Like, the entire country is being occupied by this terrorist group called the Intergang, and not one of these guys decided to come over here and help. Doesn't Superman go to like a bunch of different countries to help people out, not just the United States? Wasn't he literally in the Middle East in Batman v Superman?
Bro, Hawkman, you want to help. You have like trillions of fucking dollars. Hawkman, like if you actually want to help Kandak, it's an entire like country that's being occupied by like this intergang, and you have all this money and you're worried about like help. Like what? But it's a big deal when Black Adam shows up, but it's not a big deal when like the intergang just sieges this entire country in like 2024.
So Black Adam walks out of the kid's room through the wall, even though there's a door right there, because this is supposed to be a joke that makes you laugh. Then he flies through another wall and then down the middle of this spiral staircase, while the kid talks to him about how he could be an amazing superhero. And for some reason, The Rock is flying down super slowly so that this kid has time to like finish his monologue, even though he has no interest in what he's talking about at all. Black Adam flies outside and scares a couple people before the Justice League, the Justice Society shows up. And then Hawkman, who looks fucking stupid, by the way, I'm sorry, tells Black Adam that he needs to stand down. Even though he hasn't really done anything besides just fucking exist. He hasn't hurt anybody. He caused, I don't know, maybe $600 in property damage. That's about it. I don't know why they're so quick to apprehend him. So The Rock obviously resists their arrest. So Hawkman and The Rock start fighting. And then Hawkman calls for backup. So Dr. Fate shows up. And oh my god, he's so fucking cool!
Cyclone, Smasher, now is your time.
Now, before you say that Dr. Fate is lame and he's just a ripoff of Doctor Strange, let me tell you that Dr. Fate actually came first, and Doctor Strange is actually the ripoff. Tired of seeing this everywhere, where people say that Dr. Fate is the ripoff of Doctor Strange when he literally came first. Now, recently, Dr. Fate has been getting visions of the future where Hawkman dies, and it's just really obvious that Dr. Fate is gonna die. Like after you see him talk for the first time and you see that he has a vision of the future, you already know that Hawkman is gonna die and then Dr. Fate is gonna sacrifice himself to die instead. It's just so obvious. And I think that Pierce Brosnan, the guy who's playing as Dr. Fate, doesn't really give a fuck about this movie at all and thinks that it's kind of stupid, because anytime he's in any kind of interview or promotional material for this movie, he just looks like he doesn't really want to be there and he just thinks it's stupid. So it's kind of clear that he just was doing this for the check. And it also kind of sucks that the coolest character in this movie is now dead and isn't going to be in any future DC movies. They made one character that's cool and then just killed him off. But I don't really think that Pierce Brosnan would want to be in any more of these movies anyway. Like, just look at him. He's clearly thinking like, dude, I could just be at home doing something else right now instead of this shit. Every time another actor mentions something about the movie, he's just like, oh, that's pretty neat. Wow, that's interesting, actually. It's just hilarious. So Dr. Fate senses that the mom has the Eternium crown in her backpack and then asks her for it. So then she gets mad at Dr. Fate and Hawkman and basically says what I said a couple minutes ago about how nobody really cares about Kandak and how it's being invaded by like a terrorist group and they only really care about Black Adam, and how none of the other superheroes in the world really like care about their country and want to save them. And I think this is just the people who are writing the script realizing like, oh shit, wouldn't like Superman or like the Flash or something travel here and help them clean all this up? So they decided to just like kind of lampshade a little bit and then have one of the characters point out how ridiculous it is. But that doesn't really make it any less ridiculous or any more believable just because you have a character lampshade and then point out that it makes no sense. She literally tells him, it makes no sense that no superheroes come here, but then the second Black Adam shows up, there's superheroes that want to come here and help us. It's just cope by the people writing the movie to try to make their movie make sense. So she tells them that she doesn't have the crown anymore because it's revealed that she gave it to her son, who rode away with it on his skateboard. She tells them that they can keep fighting Black Adam and possibly get hurt and cause more destruction. They can try to resolve it peacefully, and tells them that the only way to resolve it peacefully is to have her try to talk to Black Adam and reason with him. And for some reason, they say yes to somebody who is, as far as they know, a completely random person. And they follow her all the way up to these ruins or something where they find Black Adam looking at a statue of himself. And then she says this super cheesy line about how that ruin that they found him in wasn't his tomb, but was his prison instead. And then we get a flashback to thousands of years ago where it turns out that Black Adam killed all of the people that were enslaving the people of Kandak. And because of that, I guess that meant he was abusing his powers and got locked away. Even though, like, isn't that the right thing to do? Like kill them all? And every 2 seconds, The Rock says some stupid, corny one-liner. And I just can't take this movie seriously. And it's just like...
I will hear them out. But if they choose to fight, they choose to die.
I guess the train of thought is that if they have The Rock say like 700 one-liners in this movie, then at least one of them has to land and become iconic, and people will make edits out of it on TikTok. So while this is happening, Ishmael shows up at the mom's house and runs into Comic Relief Guy and the kid, and then demands to know where the crown is. So the kid runs away with the crown, and then Comic Relief Guy tries to stop him, and then he gets shot and he dies, and I'm like supposed to feel sad about this or something. So then we cut back to the Justice Society again, and they showed up to the ruin to speak to The Rock about him surrendering and like being under arrest, even though he like didn't even do anything. It doesn't make any sense. So he's like, no, I'm good, I'm not gonna surrender. So as they're debating, mom gets a call from the kid about how he's being chased through the apartment by Intergang and they're trying to kill him and take the crown. So she turns to The Rock and she's like, please, like, you have to save my kid. So he's like, okay, and then he flies away to go save the kid. And it turns out that the Intergang have these hover bikes that kind of fly through the air. So one of them picks up the kid, and then The Rock is like, let go of the child. And then he's just like, okay, and just lets go. And then he falls. The most cliche, overused fucking thing in any movie ever. A bad guy has captured the good guy's friend. He's like holding him. So then the other guy's like, let him go. And then the bad guy takes it literally and then just like lets him go and lets him fall. What a joke. After The Rock saves the kid, he just leaves him there. He's just like, all right, you're safe now. And he leaves. And then Ishmael comes out and then kidnaps the kid a second time. Why did he leave? Why didn't he just take him with him? He just left him so that he could get kidnapped again? What? So Ishmael kidnaps him and then throws him in the trunk of his hover bike and drives away. And then The Rock is like, oh shit, he got kidnapped again. And then flies up in the air to try to find the hover bike that the kid got kidnapped and thrown into. But there's like 10 hover bikes and he doesn't know which one it is. So he just starts destroying them. And he's just flying around and it just looks terrible. And it's fucking insane.
Oh, it's like the flying looks so bad. Oh my god. Flo, look at this.
Yeah, this does not look good. Oh my god, this does not look good.
Oh man. Oh, dude.
So he grabs the pilot of one of the hover bikes and then the guy screams to let him go. So in a callback to earlier, he says that he should be more careful with his word choice next time and then drops him to the ground. And it's just so stiff and awkward and it just sounds horrible.
It's like it's not a real movie.
You should really be more careful with your word choice next time.
Yeah, he's just not into it. He's not feeling it.
Hey Flo, you know what I think?
Yeah.
I think you should really be more careful with your word choice next time.
This is so bad.
So there's this whole chase scene where The Rock is flying through the air chasing after all these hover bikes. And then Hawkman shows up on his plane and instead of helping The Rock find the kid, he instead goes after The Rock and tries to stop him because he's killing people. And killing people is bad. So he's trying to stop The Rock from killing members of a terrorist group that are illegally operating in the city who have kidnapped a child that he's trying to save. Instead of trying to help The Rock, he decides like The Rock is bad and like tries to stop him instead. So as they're arguing about whether it's morally right to kill people, wasn't actually in any of the hover bikes at all. He was in the back of a hover bike that was in a truck. And this was all a plan that was created by Ishmael because he wanted the kid to think that he was in a hovercraft so that he would call his mom and tell his mom that he's in the back of the hovercraft so that The Rock would start destroying the hovercrafts while he gets away in a truck. And he goes through this whole convoluted plan when all he needed to do was just, I don't know, shake the kid down and then take his phone and then just kidnap him in the truck. He instead goes through this entire convoluted plan of making the kid think that he's in a hover bike so that he tells his mom that he's in a hover bike, which he knows for some reason would mean that The Rock would go after him and then get 20 guys to ride their hover bikes around the city pretending that they kidnapped the kid so that The Rock would chase them instead. And then I'm supposed to watch this and be like, oh my god, 900 IQ play. He put the kid in a hoverbike in a truck, said he would think he was in a hoverbike and then call his mom and then tell his mom that he's in a hoverbike, and then set up guys in the hoverbikes around the city so that The Rock could like destroy them. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't make any sense. I will give some praise where it's due. When The Rock destroys the last hoverbike, he throws the pilot up into the air. And then after he's done, Dr. Fate projects himself to find out where he is and what he's doing. And here's that second funny joke in the movie that I talked about earlier.
You killed him, didn't you?
He didn't make it.
Like, come on. It's a terrible movie, but like, that's pretty good. That's really funny. So The Rock flies back to Mom's house, and then he tells her that he can't find her son, and that he has no idea where he is, and he's sorry. And then Hawkman arrives right after him. He's all like, you can't kill people. Heroes don't kill people. And he's more concerned about The Rock killing members of an armed terrorist group than a child being kidnapped. So The Rock responds with some stupid cold one-liner. He's like, yeah, you're right, heroes don't kill people, but I'm not a hero. So then Hawkman is like, all right, well, it doesn't matter who you are, you can't kill people. And I'm just watching this wanting to blow my head off with a shotgun, because in this same universe, other superheroes kill people. Doesn't the Batman in this universe literally brand people's chests with a searing hot bat symbol so that they can be murdered in prison? Doesn't the Batman in this universe drive around a Batmobile with rockets and cannons and just blow people up? Doesn't the Batman in this universe throw boxes at people and crush their skulls and murder them? What do you mean heroes don't kill people? Doesn't Superman literally fly at a man at over like 1,000 miles per hour and just disintegrate his body as he smashes him through a wall? Doesn't Superman snap Zod's neck and murder him? Superheroes in this universe kill people all the time. This point would make sense in a superhero universe where Batman and Superman have their no-kill rule, and they think it's wrong to kill people because everybody deserves a second chance and this and that. But this isn't a world like that. And it's not like this is what you're supposed to think about the movie, or this is what The Rock's point is. That Hawkman can't tell him not to kill anybody because literally everyone else does except Hawkman. But this is never brought up. This point is never discussed. It's like the people that were making the movie just fucking forgot.
You look so fucking stupid. Oh my god. Bro, what is Bro's build? That's how he looks from. That's how he looks from a side view. What the fuck?
So The Rock and Hawkman fight again, and the fight trails into the kid's bedroom where they start attacking each other and destroying all of the superhero memorabilia that's on his walls. And I mean, the sound effects sound pretty cool. Like the super high-tech sounds when Hawkman uses his weapon, just like pew, pew. It just sounds sick. And I really love how Dr. Fate just pulled up a chair and is just eating a snack watching them fight, thinking like, man, I'm too old for this. He's literally the best character in this whole scene, and he's not even the one fighting. Isn't that insane? And there's like one cool shot from this fight, which is when The Rock punches through this door. But besides that, it's just a mess. Like, they fight and then it cuts to things being destroyed, and then they fight, and like, this would be so much better if the camera was pulled back and this was just a long shot. Get a few choreographers to make a good fight, and then zoom the camera back so I can see majority of both of their bodies, and then do a 30-second long shot where they just fight through this room and just destroy it, and I get to see all the action. Instead of cutting to close-ups of things getting destroyed, and then back to them, and then back to the room, and then it's just disorienting. So The Rock tries to punch Hawkman, and he misses and punches this drawer instead, which pokes his hand and hurts him. And it turns out it's because the kid hid the crown inside of his drawer for some reason. So did Ishmael kidnap the kid thinking that he had the crown? Because what ends up happening is The Rock takes the crown, gives it to Mom, and then she uses the crown to trade for her son back. So did Ishmael go through all of that to kidnap the kid because he knew that the mom would bargain with him with the crown, and then he would get the crown that he wants? What does he know all of these unknown variables about his plan? It just doesn't make any sense. So Hawkman, Dr. Fate, The Rock, and Mom go into the airplane to decide what they're going to do next. And they take the crown and put it into this laser scanner or something to try to decipher some writing that's on it. And it turns out that it says, "Life is the only path to death." Well, I mean, like, yeah. right? Like, obviously, the fuck? So the mom says to Hawkman that she wants to take the crown and use it to trade for her son back. Hawkman is like, no, that's a stupid idea. There must be a reason why he wants this crown, so giving it to him is a really bad idea. So then she disagrees and is like, no, we're gonna do it. And then everybody else just decides to go along with it. So it turns out that Ishmael took the kid to this giant military base with all of these intergang soldiers with laser guns defending it. Which, it's like, if his plan was to kidnap the kid so that it would make the mom want to trade the crown that he wants for her kid back, then why wouldn't he make it easier for them to do that? I guess maybe he's hoping that he could also just kill them and take the crown earlier. It just doesn't, I just don't get it. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So they fly into the military base as Power by Kanye West starts to play, which is a pretty weird song choice considering what antics Kanye West was up to around the time this movie came out. But if you want to watch The Rock fly around and shoot bad CGI lighting at people while Kanye West is in the back saying like, no one man can have all this power, then this is the movie for you. I'm not really into that though. I think it's kind of stupid and cringe. So they get inside of the military base and Ishmael is there waiting for them with the kid and he's holding him at gunpoint. So he demands the crown and then for some reason goes on a whole spiel and has a monologue about how he's the descendant of the king that was enslaving the people of Kandak at the beginning of the movie and how he needs the crown because once he puts it on, it'll give him superpowers or something. And he just says it to these guys for no reason. There's no reason they need to know this. It's just the writers didn't really know how to get this across the audience without him just saying it to them. So figuring this out, Black Adam gets really mad and he starts like screaming and lightning flies everywhere. And they trade the crown for the kid and Ishmael goes to shoot the kid anyway. So Black Adam is still like turning Super Saiyan and like there's lightning flying everywhere. And he explodes and everything around him gets shocked with lightning. And then like once everything fades, you can see that it was only the bad guys that got hit by the giant lightning wave. All the good guys are just immune to lightning strikes. And all the other characters act like The Rock lost control of his powers or something and got super angry. And it's like he didn't harm a single protagonist. He only hurt the bad guys. So it doesn't really feel like he lost control when you're watching. Because they wanted to show that he lost control of his powers and is like harming people or something. They didn't want to hurt any of the protagonists of the movie because they still had like other things for them to do. So it just fucking sucks. But The Rock is so unpredictable and he's such a loose cannon and he's like harmful and hurts people, but he only hurt the bad guys. He's such a hazard. He's such a danger to everybody. He hurt all the bad guys. Ishmael was included in all of the bad guys that got disintegrated into dust from The Rock's lightning, and he's just a skeleton wearing the crown. Oh, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. What ends up happening to Ishmael is that he gets reborn as this giant red CGI demon monster. And it was actually a part of his plan to get electrocuted and killed so that he could be reborn as this red monster guy now that he has the crown. This was a part of his plan too, to make The Rock get mad and kill him so that he could come back. What wasn't a part of this guy's plan? The Big Bang was a part of this guy's plan. 11 and fidget spinners and the release of the PlayStation 4 were all a part of Ishmael's plan. This movie will just have things happen and then just be like, oh, it was all a part of his plan. It was part of Ishmael's plan the whole fucking time. A character in this movie will just stand up from a chair, scratch their ass, and yawn. And the movie will be like, Ishmael wanted them to do that. It was a part of his plan the whole time. Isn't he so smart? Just a quick recap on what the strat actually is. He sneaks into Mom's house to see Comic Book Guy and the kid. He kills Comic Book Guy and then kidnaps the kid, relying on the fact that Black Adam is so stupid that he'll save the kid and then just leave him in the sight of danger and fly away still so that he can come in after the fact and kidnap him. And then puts him in a hover bike and then puts the hover bike in a truck because he knows that if he does this, it'll make the kid call his mom and then tell his mom that he's in the back of a hover bike, which he also knows will mean that the mom will somehow convince Black Adam to go after the hover bikes to save the kid. And at the same time, he sent 20 henchmen to fly around the city on hover bikes, pretending that they kidnapped the kid so that Black Adam will destroy them while he gets away to another location. And then, without communicating with her at all, somehow know that the mom will bring Black Adam and the rest of the Justice Society, and they'll all figure out where his secret military base is, to trade the crown with him to get the kid back. And then once he gets the crown, tell his whole backstory and lore to Black Adam to make him mad. That he'll get mad and then kill him, so that he dies, and then since he dies with the crown, he'll come back as this as the CGI monster. He planned all of this out from the beginning? How? Doesn't make any sense. It was around this point in the movie that I kind of just started skipping around to other points to try to just get the main idea of what was going on. After Ishmael turns into the big red CGI demon guy, Dr. Fate and Hawkman go to try to stop him. And Dr. Fate is like, yeah, this is the same thing that happened in my vision. And my vision said that you were going to die, but I'm going to go die instead so you don't have to die. So he puts up this big like force field Dr. Fate wall and runs inside of this temple to fight the guy and just like lets himself lose, just eats a punch and dies without even trying to fight back. And this whole time Hawkman is like, no, and he's banging on the force field wall. And then once Dr. Fate dies and the wall goes down, he just runs up the steps when he could literally just fly and get there in like 2 seconds. He decides to slowly run up the steps to give Dr. Fate time to die, I guess. I don't know, it's fucking dumb. If you're wondering how the movie ends, Black Adam beats the CGI demon, and then he gets a call from Amanda Waller about how like they're gonna let him live, but he has to like stay in Kandak. And then they send Superman to fight him, which just makes the movie make even less sense because it shows that the other superheroes do exist in this universe and can come to Kandak at any time, but just choose not to so that the movie can happen. And yeah, that's Black Adam.
What's the reason or the reasons for the stopping of Black Adam?
I think that Black Adam got caught in a vortex of new leadership. And at that time, as we were creating Black Adam, developing it, shooting Black Adam, we got knocked down a little bit because of COVID and the shutdowns, got back up. There was so many changes in leadership. And as you know, anytime you have a company, but especially that size and magnitude, that's a publicly traded company, and you have all those changes in leadership, you have people coming in who creatively, fiscally are going to make decisions.
All right, guys, it's time to put Black Adam onto the bad movies tier list. So far, we have The Equalizer 3, Morbius, Suicide Squad, The Fantastic Four, The Last Airbender, Madam Web, Megamind 2, Imaginary, Highlander, Replicas, Spider-Man Lotus, and Highlander 2. Now, I'm gonna be honest, there are a few parts about this movie that's cool, but unfortunately, they all get squandered. Like Dr. Fate. I could see somebody just watching this movie for Dr. Fate, even though he dies and only has like 10 minutes of screen time. There's like 3 cool shots throughout this whole movie that last like 2 seconds each, and 2 jokes that land that last like 30 seconds each. So for this 2.5 hour movie, there's maybe about like 8 to 10 minutes of like good content in it, which is more than I can say for a lot of these movies that have like 0 minutes and 0 seconds of actually good content. I don't quite feel like this goes an unwatchable tier. Unwatchable tier, that's like where the movies just start becoming egregious, where it's actually like a complete waste of time to watch them. But I could see somebody actually watching this movie and maybe having a good time if they're like halfway unconscious and like fucking wasted. So I'm gonna put this after Morbius in its horrible tier. Morbius is a little bit better than this movie, but Morbius and Black Adam are really similar when you think about it. Both of them are kind of like movies that kind of turned into memes with just nonsensical storylines that make no sense. But Morbius is a little bit better, so this is gonna go after it in its horrible tier. But yeah, that's the end. I've been working on this video for like 2 weeks. It feels good to like finally be done. I would have had this video done sooner if this goober wasn't distracting me with shit. You know who you are. Shout out to Goober. Free TJ Cream. And yeah, buy a channel membership. See you guys.
I mean, I think so.
What, the Black Adam experience? What?
I mean, I always thought it was like 1 million visits.
Who? 0? Wait, I'm going to the Black Adam experience. Oh my god. What the fuck? Alright, what happened to it? What is this? This can't be it,
what
right?
What does this have to do with Black Adam?
I don't know, it's nothing to do with Black Adam. He just...
What was this in the movie?
I don't know, it's this guy going around assassinating everybody. Where's Kandak? Can I go to Kandak now?
Oh, look at the person.
Yo! They're all, it's the Justice Society. Oh my god.
I don't know.
You got him! Oh my god, you're the GOAT. Dude,
Oh my God,
are you Black Adam? Are you Black Adam? See.
I think I'm becoming him. Oh my god.